Welcome. It's great to have you all here with us. All right. Well, we are having an awesome Acellus World. Now, first I need to tell you, according to Nobel-winning physicist Niels Bohr, an expert is a person who has made all the mistakes that can be made in a narrow field. And maybe that explains why the other day I asked Dr. John, how was that intro I did? He said, oh, you're an expert. I'm not sure what he meant by that. Well, we are having an amazing Acellus World, like I said, and I want to show you a few of the exciting highlights. Take a look. And there's more of that coming. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, it's time to get it over to Dr. Joshua for Acellus News.
Well, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to announce the winners of the Acellus Science Fair. And to start things off, I would like to introduce a special guest. Representing the United States Navy, Ensign Garcia is joining us today to honor and recognize students who have demonstrated innovation, curiosity, and dedication to STEM, three elements that are critical for shaping the future of science, technology, and national development. Please help me welcome Ensign Garcia.
Good evening. Good evening, students, parents, friends, and honored guests. It is a pleasure and honor for me to be here at Acellus World 2026 to present Naval Science Awards on behalf of the United States Navy and Marine Corps. I wish to convey personal congratulations from Dr. Rachel Riley, Chief of Naval Research. The Office of Naval Research has relentlessly pursued science and technology. Research initiatives undertaken by naval scientists and engineers have enabled the extremely capable naval force we depend upon today. These initiatives have provided all of us with many items in our ever increasingly technological world, items like global positioning systems for military, commercial, and now personal navigation. Other commercial spin-offs from research initiated by the Navy include semiconductors, fiber optics, blood clots, and MRIs. And things we take for granted also originated in research, including cell phones, store checkout scanners, and chem lights. Science is a central aspect of our society. Scientific literacy not only gives us a better understanding of the world around us, it strengthens the everyday skills of problem solving, critical thinking, using technology efficiently, and working as part of a team. On a larger scale, the economic productivity of our society is tightly linked to the scientific and technological skills of the American workforce. Finally, and significantly, technological breakthroughs also help us to maintain the military advantage that is vital to our national security. We recognize the accomplishments of the students at all regional and state science fairs. ONR is very proud to also represent the Navy and Marine Corps at the International Science and Engineering Fair each May, awarding one $10,000 Chief of Naval Research Scholarship to a student recognized in a scientific category of naval relevance. Now, as you've heard by the few examples I gave you, the Navy is very talented and hardworking scientists and engineers that have made a difference. We value and respect the scientists and engineers that work with us at universities, in the private industry, and for our own naval facilities. Thanks to these individuals, we have the best Navy in the world. Our scientists and engineers make scientific progress every day, developing medical breakthroughs and help make our country safer, whether it's turning dirty laundry water into drinkable water or improving communications via satellites. They know they make a difference, and we do too. For those of you that gave it your best at this fair, you know it's exciting and challenging work, so we hope you will continue to increase your knowledge and skills by taking those tough math and science courses and participating in science and engineering internships. And in closing, we appreciate having the opportunity to meet you and discuss your work. Today, we want to recognize 4 students with Naval Science Awards, so please come forward as I call your name. Kartikeya Tiwari. William Billings. Alexander Sawak. And Stormy Bell. One more thing for you guys, okay? And I conclude by thanking all of you for allowing me to share in recognizing the accomplishments of your fine students. Please, one more big round of applause for these 4. And thank you all.
Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you, Ensign Garcia, and congratulations, students. We would like to announce now the lower division winners of our Acellus Science Fair. For any of you students who are here in person, we would invite you to come up on stage now. First of all, Alexis of Edmond, Oklahoma for her project Black Holes Cosmic Enigmas. Arthur and Patrick of Kansas City, Missouri for their project Driving Metal Detector. And Alexander of Ocala, Florida for his project Audio Airspeed Alerts for Safer RC Landings. Let's hear it for them. Thank you so much, students. Congratulations. I would now like to announce the winners of our upper division for the Acellus Science Fair. And again, if you hear your name called and you're here present, please come up on stage. First of all, Ana Escalara of Salinas, Puerto Rico for her project Harnessing Organic Waste for Sustainable Energy Production. William Billings for his project Bat Shoe. And Sidi Tuari for her project Application of Machine Learning and Bacterial Growth Classification. Would you please come on stage if you're present? Congratulations to both of you, and I now have the opportunity of announcing our final award, which is the Roger Billings Inventioneering Award. This award recognizes student projects that demonstrate the principles of inventioneering in taking concepts that have an impact, the potential to make a real-world impact on society, and developing them into a practical application. This award is accompanied by a full tuition scholarship to the Institute of Science and Technology in Kansas City, Missouri. And this year, it is presented to Sidhi Tiwari. Congratulations. Judging this year's science fair was tremendously difficult because there was a record number of entries and the projects were incredibly high caliber. So to all of you students who entered, thank you so much and congratulations.
All right. Well, it's time to get it over to Dr. John for the Technology Spotlight.
All right, since you're all here, and since it's Acellus World, I need to show you my lab. Yeah, some of you kids already know what I'm talking about. If you look at this picture, this is the new Logic Lab. And some of you have seen this at Acellus World, but it's brand new. And remember, a laboratory is somewhere you go to do experiments, to see if things work, to try out new ideas. And that's what this is for. It's for doing those kinds of experiments. But it's a lot like, maybe an Arduino. But with an Arduino, you have to install a program, and then you have to write code, and then you can finally start hooking things up and making it work. And with this lab, all you do is sit down and start doing the wires, and it makes things happen. And this is a really, really neat step that can come before that kind of coding. And one of the neatest parts I think about it is the way that the wires work. Normally, when you're hooking up wires, if you hook them up wrong, then you get smoke. That's bad. That means your project is over, unless you can increase your budget, But instead of doing that, we have these special wires. If you look at this picture, you can see how on one end there's a point, and on the other end there's a hole. So the wires can only go on one way. And that makes it so you can't hook the output to another output, which would fry your board, get you the smoke. And so no matter how you hook it up, as long as you're using those wires, you hook it up the right way. And it's only a matter of what it does instead of, it's going to destroy itself. And so that makes it so it's really easy to sit down and get going and doing experiments. We have a little user guide that comes with it, and it has little diagrams like this one. You can see how it starts out really simple, and it teaches you about gates, like OR gates or NOT gates and AND gates. And then if you look carefully, you can see how some of the lines are colors, and those are the lines that you have to put on with the wires. So it starts out really simple and teaches you about these gates, and then it gets a little more complicated. Look at this next one. This one looks really complicated, but it's actually pretty simple when you look at what's going on. There's a special counter module in the lab, and you can hook it up to different lights like this. And let's look at a video of it running. You see those wires, and the counter's making the lights blink, and then when you push the button, it blinks even faster. And so it's a lot of fun, and it teaches about how to hook up the circuits, but then things get a little more complicated. Look at this next diagram. If you look at this one, the wires are going backwards. And this is one of my favorites because it shows how we make registers in computers. And this is how we store ones and zeros in the computer while it's running. So it's super important. And this allows you to see how it works. Normally, when you have a logic gate, you have inputs, and then there's an output. And if you change the inputs, then the output changes immediately. But in this case, since the output loops back as an input, you can put an input in, and it saves it. It remembers what you put in. So we call this a latch. And so one of the activities we do, if you follow the user guide, is show how to make your own latch out of the gates. And so that kind of thing is really awesome when you start realizing that it's what all of the computers that we use are built upon. Just these little ands and or gates, and putting them together, you can make bigger things, and pretty soon you have a whole computer. Yeah, and so it's a lot of fun to have these new logic boards in the Acellus Store. So if you earn gold, then you can go and get one of these. And I think a lot of people are going to have their own laboratories, which is awesome. But I want to show you my other laboratory. Look at this video right here. This was from today at Acellus World, and maybe not everyone knew it, but they were in my laboratory because I was watching to see where kids got stuck, where it was too confusing, and how much they enjoyed it, how engaging it was. And there's going to be a few little changes, but overall, it's been really awesome and a lot of fun. And if any of you are at Acellus World, you better come tomorrow, if you didn't already, and check out the Logic Labs. And that's all the tech we have the time for. Thank you.
Now it's time for Breakthrough Moments in Science with Tobias.
All right. Well, I am super excited because I've been asked by Dr. Billings to give a little report of what I've been doing. Yeah. I've actually been traveling with none other than Dr. Todd Edmond. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, you can clap for that. Yeah. And now, I do have to say, for those of you who are here at Acellus World, tomorrow, Dr. Todd Edmond at 1 p.m. on this stage is going to be doing Conspiracy Theories Live, so don't miss that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Todd actually paid me $25 to put that in, so a little plug there. Okay, no. But yes, so we actually have been filming a new course that is something I'm really excited about, and it's focused on America, the birth of a new nation. Now, it's 2026, which is the 250th birthday of this country. And so it seems like a really fitting time to make this course. And so we took a camera crew and Dr. Edmond to Philadelphia to film about the history of this nation. Now, if you don't know why you would go to Philadelphia to film about the history of America, well, you need to take this course because you're going to find out. But so much happened in Philadelphia in the American Revolution. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about some of the things we've spent 4 days filming 24 sites in Philadelphia. And our day started in the 6 a.m. hour and ended in the 6 p.m. hour. And we looked it up, and we actually were averaging about 10 miles of walking per day. But we were happy the whole time because it was incredible. And some of the places, I want to show you this picture here. This is Independence Hall in Philadelphia. That is the building that these men who debated the Declaration of Independence, signed the Declaration of Independence, that is the building that they went to, that happened. And that building, I'll tell you what, it is protected. And it's a real treasure of American history. So we had to really work with the National Park Service to get to film in there. And we were able to be given 2 hours of exclusive access starting at 7 a.m. in the morning in that building. And it was incredible. And there's one special room called Assembly Hall. And that room is the room that the Declaration was debated, and they signed the Declaration. But then after the war, when we had become a new nation, the Constitution was debated in the same room. And let me show you a picture of inside. Here is Assembly Hall inside. And do you see that chair in the back of the room? That's the chair that George Washington sat in as they met about the Constitution. And if you watch the course, you'll learn about a special sun carving that's etched in that chair. And that chair is so special, the National Park Service actually told us, when foreign visitors come, like bigwig foreign visitors, we actually take that chair and swap it out for a double. Because we don't want any foreign, if they have a plan to mess up that chair. So only Americans get to see the real chair, people. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we filmed it. So I just want to hit a couple more things because, man, I don't have time to go through everything. So we better make a course. But incredible what happened there. Things like the crossing, the Delaware, Washington crossing the Delaware, and there's a whole story behind that. Happened just outside of Philadelphia. The crazy thing is the battles, the places people stayed. We went to some of the battlegrounds. Here's a picture of Todd teaching a lesson from one of the biggest battle sites in the area and in the Revolution. And it's the feeling there, I'll tell you, it's harrowing to be there. And you can kind of sense what happened there. But Philadelphia is so historic, they're still finding things today. Recently, they saw this tree wash up on the Delaware River, and then they looked at it, and one side of it was pointed. They looked at it more, there was metal on it. Turns out, during the Revolution, George Washington had them bury what basically are spears that are the size of trees into the Delaware River, sticking up just under the water, so that the British ships, when they'd come, they get stabbed and stopped. And it kept the British ships from coming up the river for a time. Well, guess what washed up on shore, and they found it. We actually filmed one of these. If you see this picture here, this is up at the top there. There's that spike. Can you imagine just seeing that wash up on the river one day? Oh, look, an old piece of garbage. Wait a minute. But that's one of George Washington's spikes that they put into the Delaware. So things like this, we just all over the place we're running into. And we knew what we were going to go film, but I think just about every single site, and Todd Edmond will tell you this too, we weren't expecting for the amount of stories, the amount of feelings that we felt. And when you talk about the birth of America, it's so cool. We know how it ended, right? They didn't know what was going to happen. They didn't know as they signed that Declaration of Independence. They're signing that knowing, hey, if this all falls apart and we lose, we're basically signing our death warrants. They're all going to be hung if this doesn't work out. To people like everyday people, there was a woman named Betsy Ross. We actually went to Betsy's house, and we talk about the story and she's a 24-year-old widow, and her husband had just died in the Revolution. Then Washington comes, knocks on her door, and says, hey, you've made curtains for me before. Well, I need you to do something way bigger. I need you to make our flag. And she said, well, I've never done a flag before, but if you really want me to, I will. And he showed her that he had a little draft, and he showed it to her. They talked about it. He had 6 pointed stars. She said if we made him 5, it'd be a lot easier to reproduce. She cut one out for him. He said, I approve. I like that. She made the first American flag. She couldn't make it in her shop because we think when the British took over Philadelphia, most all the homes were required to give quarter, let the British soldiers live in their houses. So she made the first American flag in her bedroom so they wouldn't find it. Those are the kinds of stories that we went and discovered. And in closing, I'll say one place we didn't expect to be impacted by so much was at a park. There's an outdoor park, and we found out that at this park, it's called Washington Square. It's a beautiful park, and it has this beautiful, if you look at this picture here, there's a statue of Washington, and then there's this tomb. And it turns out this park was, during the Revolution, a makeshift burying ground for thousands of soldiers that they didn't have time to go give proper burials to, unmarked soldiers. So they made this park and dedicated it to those soldiers, and they actually found one of the remains of what they guessed to be a 19-year-old soldier, and they put it in this tomb, and that flame is always burning at the front. And when you go there and you realize, wow, where am I standing? Who's right here, and what did they fight for? That's the kind of feeling that we want to convey in this course. And we put together a little video that's a sneak peek for what's coming in this course, if you guys would be interested. Yeah? You want to see it? All right. All right, let's check it out.
Welcome to Philadelphia. a city at the heart of the founding of America during the American Revolution. Patrick Henry, he stood up and he started talking about, we're all here from our different areas. And he said, I am no longer a Virginian. At this moment, I am an American. Inside this room, you're going to have a whole lot of different historical things happen when it comes to the formation of the United States. I think about George Washington, him coming in here, just like I am right now, and staying the night. When you look at all of the signatures at the bottom of the Declaration of Independence, they're all committing treason. If King George does get this document, you just gave him a list of people that he needs to go after. Well, a lot of people look at the crossing of the Delaware as one of the turning points for the American Revolution. This is going to be one of the harshest winters on record in this area. There were so many pieces of this that could have fallen apart. This church has ties to the American Revolution. Beneath this stone rests a soldier of Washington's army who died to give you liberty. I stand here and I think of the noise and the battle and the men, and this is just part of the battlefield. Nobody had tried this before. Nobody had really had the courage to take the ideas of the Enlightenment and put it into a government that would be for the people. She would create the first flag of the United States. Ben Franklin in his carriage riding through that arches, you get a little moment of you realize where you are. You had over 10,000 cannonballs that were fired at this fort. George Washington and his officers would meet in this house. Who were you? What was your name? Where did you fight? What are the emotions going through their minds? And that determination that we are going to form our own country. And it started right here.
Coming to an Acellus near you. Thank you.
All right. And now I'm pleased to introduce the host of Science Live, Dr. Roger Billings.
Acellus? Oh, what are you guys doing tonight? Are you ready to science? Oh, good, good. Something big that's happening in the world today is robots. And soon we're all going to have a few of them. I've been thinking about things I want mine to do. But the problem is when you get your robots, they're pretty raw. They're not social, if you know what I mean. So it's hard to get them to do things. And so tonight, I decided I challenged our social emotional teacher, Dr. Pajet Monet, to teach robots to be social. And she said, oh, that's easy. I do that all the time. It's all right. Well, let's see if you can teach them to dance. And so I would now like to call out Lady Pajet Monet in her dance costume. Let's hear it. Woo! So, welcome to Acellus Academy. These are the people that are changing the world. Yeah. Okay, so before we get off into this, though, I have to take just a time out, if you can excuse me for just a minute. I've got a report that we're having some problems with R51 over at Area 51. That's your next project. So excuse me just a minute. I'm going to check in on him. R51? That's just what I was afraid of. He's on the wind again. If anyone happens to see him, will you please tell me? Because I need to find out where he is. What? Where? Oh, no, I mean, if you see him, will you please tell me where he is. R51, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm an AI. I can dance.
You get off this stage right now. We've got robots that are going to dance.
Well, okay, then for you, I'll go back and you will miss me. You'll see.
Yeah, we're sure missing him, aren't we? Okay, well, I guess we all have our little trials in life. Do you think he really went back? Let's just make sure he's back there where he's supposed to be.
Hi, guys, you came to see me. I have something really exciting to show you today. Look right here. R51 Junior. Wow, can you believe that? And he is such a good guy. And if he doesn't do what I say, well, then you know what I do to him? I say, you're going to learn to be social because guess what? I got Lady Pajet right here, and she will teach you to be social. So you stand up here, and you just got to behave. Now, I got to tell you, those guys down there, they could have seen me dance, but they didn't get to because they want those old funny-looking robots that are from the... But we don't care because we're social. And you just remember that, little guy.
She's got some work to do there, doesn't she? For sure. Okay. Well, I think they're okay. Let's move on. All right? So tonight's challenge is to bring out some robots that are not yet social. And your job is to make them social. And if you really have success with them, I want to see if you can teach them to dance. Okay?
You think I can?
No, I don't. Okay, would you like the microphone? All right. Bring out the robots.
And what am I supposed to do with them?
Make them social. Teach them to dance.
Oh, yeah? Is this Zeke?
If you say so.
Zeke, can you wave? Can you wave? No. Attitude. Attitude. What are they doing? See, this is how real people are. They like to tease and they like to give hard time. So they work together. Okay, can you wave? Can you wave? I know so many people like that. No, I can't. I choose not to. Okay, let's try this one. Can you move your foot? No, not like that. Try again. It's impossible. It's impossible.
You can do it. I
Okay.
believe in you.
Let's try you, Nova. Can you move your foot? Move it out like this. No, I don't get it. Do it again. We have a marching band with attitude. What are we going to do?
I have a suggestion. I think if you'd show them how, maybe they'd get the idea. So, would you guys like to see her teach these guys? You know what we need, though? We need a little music.
Zero one systems online. Feeling kinda glitchy, not quite fine. Stiff joints, blank screens, what's this vibe? Pajet says, hey bots, come alive. We're spinning around. Pajet Monet, showing us how. From rusty to funky, we're breaking it down. Learning to be friendly, social now. Circuits on fire. We love to dance, we're feeling higher. Happy bots, glowing bright. Pajet taught us to shine tonight.
Whoa, let's hear it for him. Woo! Congratulations. And congratulations to you two. Oh, yeah. We got one of those kind of robots. Okay, you guys, go home. And you go home too. Goodbye. Yeah. See, they're just like Acellus students. Let's hear it for the robots. Okay. So this is a big Acellus World. I want to thank every one of you that came to Kansas City. We have a wonderful crowd. In fact, some of us found out we have a bigger crowd than we were expecting. Have you noticed? It's wonderful. Last year, we had about 1,900 people. This year, we have about 6,000. So I would say that's pretty good growth. Yeah. Has it been fun so far? Yeah. Have you been able to learn anything here? Yeah. Okay. So the proteges are going to film all of the training things if they haven't done already, and we're going to put those live. A lot of people have been watching the different parts of the program. One of the big things that happened today was Lady Pajet did her talk, and she had a good crowd. How many of you were here for that? Anybody? Yeah. And then after, we had a line going all the way down the hallway of people wanting to get her to sign their things, and I think she was kind of surprised, but it was good for her. Thanks. At any rate, tomorrow we're going to do a similar thing at the same time. I believe at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Only this time, right here on this stage, is going to be the guy that is into conspiracy theories. Yeah. Dr. Todd Edmond will be here at 1 o'clock, and you don't want to miss that. Last year, he kind of gave us a teaser, and we had a real hard time getting us to tell us what he thought. Maybe this year he'll be a little more open. But we have the class. Now, one of the things that we're hoping will happen tomorrow will be a countdown. 10, 9, 8, for the launch of the brand new conspiracy theory class. So anybody at home, after that countdown, you should be able to have that class added to your list, and you can start working on conspiracies to keep you up at night, okay? So that's going to be kind of special. We had a graduation Friday night, and we were completely full. We had another one this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and we were clear full. And we have another one tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So we're going to have a total of about 600 students that'll be walking here. 400 have already done it, and 200 more tomorrow. So it's been a really great event, and I'm just so glad that you could come. Those of you who are here in Kansas City, I hope you can feel the quality and the dedication of the Acellus team. Aren't they wonderful? Let's hear it for them. Yeah. We have been able to bring together some of the most wonderful people on earth. And you know that they really love the kids, or they would expect us to pay them. But seriously, our Acellus team is growing rapidly. And if you know anybody that wants to come and join us, we have a lot of openings because we really, really, really are growing. And we have a very ambitious plan for next school year. We want to make Acellus at a whole new level. You say, well, it's really good now. Yeah, but it's got to get better. There are a lot of things we're learning that we think we can improve upon. And so we're looking for a lot of good people. If anyone thinks that you ought to live in Kansas City, reach out to us, okay? And those of you here, we do have one of the exhibits back here is a booth by an outfit called KC Career Makers. That's Kansas City Career Makers. And in that booth, you can go find out about the positions that we have open. We have a lot more that'll be posted soon. Kansas City Career Makers, by the way, is a employment career planning company which is owned by the International Academy of Science. So, yeah, they're wired. At any rate, check with them if you think you have an interest in doing something like that. Now, I want to move forward and talk a little bit about science. And one of the things that needs to be on our minds right now is robots and artificial intelligence. The world that we knew a couple years ago is gone, and I don't think it's ever returning. And so we have a very different new world, and the prize, or I should say the prizes, are going to be for the people that can learn to navigate in that new world first and the best. And we're really planning to do a lot of things. We've already started, but a lot of things to help our Acellus Academy students do that. I would like to start your AI training tonight by telling you it's not something to intimidate you. Yeah, there's some challenges. A lot of people are saying, well, it's going to take all these jobs. And it's true that a person like a programmer can get as much programming work done as 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 programmers before AI. And AI seems to get better, by breakfast in the morning, and then again by lunch, and then by dinner that night, and by the time you go to bed, it's better again. It's getting better very fast. It's getting more effective. To me, as an Inventioneer, AI is nothing less than excitement, because now I can become an expert in 5 minutes on any subject I want. And so I have all these projects that I've always wanted to do, and I just can't get around to them all. Well, now I can get into them. I can very quickly find out the parameters. Lots of times, a project right off the get-go looks really exciting. But then when you get into it, you get more information, you find out it's plagued with a lot of problems. Well, now I can know in 5 minutes, what are the problems? What are the possible solutions? And AI is not some magical source of knowledge. AI is the collection of things that people all over the world have said. But to be able to have all that information at our fingertips, and one of the things that it does that I think is most helpful is it tries to sift through what people have said and determine who said it with the most authority, the one that knew best what's going on. So you can get a lot of good information. I think it's important for everyone to learn how to use artificial intelligence in whatever your endeavors are. And I believe that it's going to be a great opportunity for a lot of people, and I want to make sure that we're the people that get the advantage. In 1975, which for those of you that don't remember that year, was a few centuries ago, when I was just out of college, I dated myself, didn't I? Anyway, way back then, I read about the microprocessor so that you could build a computer on a single chip, and I immediately knew that the world would never be the same. And because of that, I built one of the world's very first computers, personal computers, not first computer, but the first personal computer. We didn't call them personal yet. We called them microcomputers back then. And it did a lot to launch my career. Before the computer, I was working on a very tight budget, and the computer was really a windfall of resource for me. But I could see that that was going to change everything. And so then I started saying, so if everybody is going to be able to afford their own computer, and a cell phone's a computer, very powerful computer, well then where are the problems and where are the opportunities? Because if I can figure out what needs to be invented, I might be able to invent it, and it's going to open a lot of doors for me. So as I got thinking, if everybody had a computer, if everybody had their own computer, they would want to be able to share information between everyone. And I realized, even though I'd taken 2 computer science classes, that the technology did not exist then to really securely share information between so many users. And so I spent a lot of time saying, if I could figure out a secure, a reliable way that everybody could share information, it would be a game changer. And eventually, in fact, it was on a Saturday afternoon after I spent many days scratching my head, scratching a lot of designs on napkins, because they say great things are invented on napkins, so I did on napkins. Ripping them up, throwing away. Finally, one day, I had that eureka moment. You hear about the guy that he was in the tub and he had his eureka moment. He jumped up and ran through the street naked. I didn't do that. Yeah, but it was like that. It was a eureka moment for me. And the thing that I realized is that trying to connect everybody's computers was going to be chaos. So that's why we needed to make what I called libraries. These are library computers. They're not run by a normal user. Everybody had their personal or their private computer, but these would be resource computers that anyone could connect with, like a library, and get information. I called mine data centers or servers. And the computer that everyone had is called a client computer. I called them, back in 1976, user computers, one for every user, and then there was the data center or the server. Well, that idea eventually led to a patent, and early on, I had become well acquainted with Bill Gates. The first year, I paid him a lot of money to write programs for me in the very, very beginning of Microsoft. And Bill Gates, excited about a program written by Bell Laboratories called Unix, an operating system. He negotiated the rights for Unix to run on microcomputers, and he marketed it under the name of Xenix. Some of you guys that are in computer science back clear in the 70s will remember that. Well, Xenix was his offering and was a multi-user computer, but in his implementation of Xenix, he had one computer that did all the work for everybody, and the other computers were just dumb terminals connecting to it, and it had no... Bill Gates and I argued about that so many times. I said, no, client-server computing is going to be so much better, going to be so much better, so much better. And he tried, and I tried, and it turned out that his thing would work with just 3 or 4 or 5 computers. Mine worked with an unlimited number of computers. And so he trashed Linux. He gave it back to Bell Labs. And in Microsoft DOS 3.1, he added the hooks for my client-server computing system. And boy, did that make it take off. So that was a big change in the world because of technology. But that big change, though it was a great opportunity for me to get going, is nothing compared to the magnitude of AI. AI is so much bigger. And a lot of people are going to become very successful because they got on board the AI revolution early and started looking for opportunities of what they could do. They started thinking, so how will the world be different? One of the things that AI can do is if you kind of tell it your ideas, it can write up a very polished technical paper describing your ideas, so polished that people would be impressed by it. Well, being able to write a really polished research paper is a great talent, but now it's available to everybody. We're going to see a lot more papers published, but good ideas, the real original thinking, it comes from us. And that's why one of my favorite sayings now is, in a world of AI, the most important thing in the room is you. And it really is true. We are special. We, the human race, are very, very special. And we need to realize that. A lot of people are saying, well, computers are going to be smarter than us. And if memorizing facts is smart, then I guess that'll be true. But memorizing facts that we taught them, I think that our ability to reason is unique and different, and I don't expect that AI is going to replace that. And it's a challenge for us to make the adjustment, but it's also a huge opportunity. And next year, one of the big pushes in Acellus is going to be to help our students know how to master AI and get it to stand up on its hind legs and dance, okay? All right, thank you. All right, there's something else that I want to tell you about today, and we're not getting into too much deep science because we're having so much fun here celebrating. But today in her lecture, Dr. Pajet Monet announced a brand new movement which she's launching. She calls it the Fire Angel movement. And if you want to know why it's called Fire Angel, then go to the brand new website, fireangel.com, and read about it, because that's her new website, and I think it's been up for 1 day. So if the paint's still wet, don't get it on you, okay? But it's an exciting concept, and it's based on a lot of things that she feels very deeply and that she's learned as she's worked with so many students. And I think it's going to be very, very inspiring. Her idea with the Fire Angel movement is that we focus not on ourselves, but rather that we learn to focus on each other. She says that we are the welcoming committee for planet Earth. So if any aliens come, we're the ones to welcome them and let them know this is a great Earth to live on. Sounds like someone coming from another planet to me. Kids will know what I mean. But at any rate, it's something that we're pretty excited about. And I think it's going to maybe help a lot of people be more considerate for each other than we already are. And it seems like right now, our world has a problem with respecting each other. You know, if everybody agrees on everything, then we're dummies. We're not thinking. If you're thinking original thoughts and original ideas, you're going to disagree with other people thinking original thoughts. But the thing we're forgetting is how to respect each other even when we disagree. And we really need to bring back the rhetoric. We need to start being respectful. The person that you're putting down just happens to be someone very special, as are we all. And so her movement is to see if we can, as a world, begin to respect each other more. And I'm pretty excited about it. You know, before I convinced her that she looked like an electrical engineer to me, Dr. Pajet, as a very, very freshman student, thought she was going to be a dancer. And she is a dancer and a very good one. But she and her Fire Angel team have composed a beautiful new song that tells about the theme of what they want to do and how they want to light this worldwide campaign to help people on this beautiful blue planet get along better together. And it's my wonderful pleasure to call her back out here to share for us this beautiful musical number and another Pajet Monet dance. Let's hear it for her.
So on this one, we're dedicating it to the man who showed me that it can happen. It can be possible that dreams can really, really come true. And I didn't really understand that was a thing until being mentored by him, until watching him, until being pushed by him, and I mean pushed, to go a little bit beyond what I was capable of doing. When he says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And I can attest to that. So this one is saying thank you to the man who showed it's possible.
It's not the end of you, never was. There's a whole sky blazing just because you dare to dream, you dare to rise. Don't you dare give up tonight. No more hiding in the cold and gray. You get stronger where the fire stays. Come take my hand, this world is ours. We are the embers, we are the blaze. There are no more bad days, and that cutting wind just lifts you higher. Come alive with fire. So melt away all of your scars. Become the legend that you are. This crown of gold that sits on you says you must be magic too. Turn to that warm sun. Your life has just begun. Come take my hand, this world is ours. We are the embers, we are the blaze. There are no more bad days, and that cutting wind just lifts you higher. Come alive with fire. The light is lit, 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 the light is lit. We didn't come just to survive. We came here to live our lives. Oh, I come alive with fire.
All right, guys, the light is lit. And let's let this Acellus World be the day that we begin looking out for each other. Every single soul on this earth is precious. And I love them all. I've met so many wonderful people last night and today. I am just overcome. And I just hope that you'll take the spirit of this beautiful message back and infect everybody you meet with it. This is our beautiful, beautiful blue planet. Let's take care of it. Let's make it the greatest place in the galaxy to live, even better than Mars. Thank you very much, and thank you so much for your support of Acellus. Love you guys. Love you so very, very much. Thank you.